stuff has just completely fallen from being hung. Nice little piles from before are just disorganized messes. And I'll show you back here too. Definitely the scariest time out on the boat, and not much bigger would I be comfortable in, but made it through. Now a couple hours away from Spanish Wells. Really looking forward to getting on a mooring ball, being secured, and just chilling out for the night. Once I rounded into the protection of Eleuthera Island, the seas became amazingly calm and I started to relax again. Spanish Wells has an incredibly narrow channel into their mooring harbor where I managed to run smack into another sandbar. I was pretty frustrated with that one, so it was time for an early dinner and bed. The next day, another cold front came ripping through, so I figured it was a good excuse to explore town for a few days. Cold fronts down here aren't quite the same as when I was living in New York. Up there it meant snow, rain, and heavy coats. Down here it's more about strong winds and big waves, so most cruisers use them as a good excuse to find protected harbors. This calm little bay was just a 10-minute walk across the island from the strong winds and choppy water. Life is just different down here. Sometimes a local guy will help you lug 60 gallons of fresh water a quarter of a mile, and other times, apparently, use a water taxi the size of your truck to move your truck. When I left Spanish Wells almost a week later, I had to navigate through what's called a cut between islands. These shortcuts save time, but the currents and tides can be pretty crazy. I didn't film going through this one because it was definitely scary. The boat doubled in speed within seconds, and there were little whirlpools everywhere. It looked like a boiling cauldron of foam and whitewater. But as soon as I got through, I was met by my first pod of playful dolphins. This was a really big moment for me. It's one of those quintessential sailing in the Bahamas images that I'd secretly been hoping and waiting for. They stayed with me for about 15 minutes until they got bored and went in search of some fish or something. I pulled into Governor's Harbor in late afternoon and once again found myself completely alone in an incredible little town. The locals are saying that the regular cruisers haven't returned yet because hurricane season ran late this year. It's so weird being the only boat in these amazing places. The next morning, I pulled up anchor as the sun was rising. I'm heading a bit more south to Davis Harbor outside of Rock Sound, where hopefully I can find some other cruisers and a hardware store for a couple of things for repairs. One of the local women was nice enough to give me a lift into town for groceries and the hardware store. We followed the local farm truck into the market. I am in Rock Sound, Eleuthera, and the ocean hole is behind me. This looks like a swimming pond, but it's a blue hole. It goes down to about 600 feet deep, connects to the ocean through underground tunnels. There are a bunch of fish behind me. It's salty. The locals believe it has healing powers. It's pretty fantastic. I'm not going to swim today, but it's definitely inviting. When I got back from town, surprise, I found myself alone again, so it was time for some exercise. With all my girls and my homies next to me, My chopping skills aren't quite up to island quality yet, but it was kind of cool to be learning something so simple and yet apparently so difficult.
It's not as good as I wanted. So it's been 4 weeks since I left Florida. I'm currently in South Eleuthera, kind of the middle of the Bahamas. Wasn't originally planning on being here, but after hitting sandbars 2 days in a row, decided instead of hopping from Spanish Wells to the more shallow Exumas that I would hug the coast of Eleuthera, go down to Cat Island, and then make my way from there to Great Exuma, Georgetown, specifically, where I will hang out for a couple weeks, catch up on projects, have a visit from my dad, and just kind of enjoy the beautiful island there. What I found is one of my biggest challenges is really embracing this lifestyle. There's this weird mix of being still in one place when the weather's not good or when that's just what the plans call for, embracing everything that's around you, enjoying the scenery, going for a walk, visiting town, swimming, paddleboarding, and then also staying on top of all of the projects, watching the weather, daily boat stuff like checking on the bilge and groceries, little chores like that. So I'm still really getting used to that. And it was harder than I thought it would be to slow down, to chill out, to get out of that go, 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 always being busy mode. But I suppose that's true for most of us. As much as I love the isolation, the peace, and definitely craved it when I was living the crazy lifestyle in the States, there are those moments when I show up and there are no other boats around and I kind of think, what am I doing wrong? Where is everyone? So I'm learning to trust my gut, my intuition, and learning to reach out, connect to other cruisers when there are other boats nearby, and just be okay with the peace and quiet when no one else is around. And really my goal for the next month is just to continue working on living this quiet, slow lifestyle, let go of all the to-dos or this is where I thought I was going to be, maybe disappointments that the old lifestyle would have allowed, and just be a little bit more present, relax, write more, appreciate that I'm on this incredible journey in these beautiful places. So I'm looking forward to some good weather, some company from my dad, hopefully some friends.
This is me trying to put off some projects, slow down, enjoy myself a bit more, and really just live in the moment. And of course, get some fun pictures for Instagram.
Big thank you to my friends, my family, people on social media and YouTube for watching my videos and sharing in my journey. Your support means so much to me. This is a really fun but also really challenging adventure, and I couldn't do it without supportive people like you in my life. Be sure to like the videos, leave comments, and send me emails. I love hearing from you. And what do you want to see more of? More beaches, more local culture, more cruising culture, more actual sailing? Let me know so I can film more of that. I could always use a little extra financial assistance, and for that I have a Patreon page set up, which is a website which allows you to help support creative lifestyles. As your donations help me to continue to film and share my journeys and adventures with you. And as a patron, you get some really fun rewards. Be sure to check them out on the site. Even an opportunity to come visit me on my boat. Thank you again, and stay tuned for the newest episode coming soon.